Welcome to the SCM Podcast, business advice and tips with expert guest interviews and with hostess Latrice Carter, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Today, my guest expert this week is Nancy Badillo. She has 11 years digital marketing and 4 years Etsy seller experience. Her knowledge in digital marketing gives her an added advantage as an Etsy seller. Nancy made mistakes her first year and she learned from them, which led her to making her first $21,000 her first year on Etsy. So what I'm saying to all of my listeners today, get your pens and paper ready and take some notes and learn from our special guest, Nancy Badillo. Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Latrice. Thank you so much for having me in your podcast. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I am so happy to have you. A little history to my audience, listening audience. Guys, I first met Nancy when I first launched my blog. She was very helpful, very informative. So her experience and her knowledge, you will greatly benefit from. So with that being said, Nancy, what made you start as an Etsy seller?
Well, like you mentioned, thank you for the amazing intro. You actually got it right compared to other people. So I used to do, I still do digital marketing. Back in 2007, when the recession started, I lost my home. And in 2009, I started kind of like learning how to make money online. And that's kind of how the whole story started with the digital marketing. And I started learning, about blogging and flipping blogs and affiliate marketing. So as a digital marketer, my spark of making money online is already there. And in 2015, I got married to my husband, Cornelius. And I started researching, things for the wedding, of course. And a couple of my friends were like, you need to visit Etsy. They have personalized items for weddings, handmade items for weddings. You'll find unique stuff there. And I was like, Etsy. And at that time, I've never heard of Etsy before. Mm-hmm. Maybe I stumbled across it and never really paid attention to it, but I don't recall ever going and buying anything from there. So I went to Etsy and I started browsing and shopping for my own wedding. And what I realized, because I'm already, as you know, a digital marketer, I realized, wow, this store sells digital downloads or digital files, and they're making a good living off passive income. Mm-hmm. So I bought from this one store about like $65 worth of goods. I bought like a wedding sign, an invite, and a couple other signs. And I remember saying to myself, okay, I just paid $65 to this lady. She created beautiful items for my wedding. And I'm the one that's going to edit the file. I'm the one that's going to take it to Kinko's to get it printed. And I'm the one doing majority of the work from my end. Mm-hmm. And that interests me. I was like, wow, I wonder if I could do an Etsy store where I do the same and create another income stream of passive income. So that's kind of how it sparked for me. I think it sparked for me because I'm a digital marketer. So that made me think of another strategy of making money. So I decided to create a case study for my blog, and I created my first store on Etsy selling like quotes. And prior to Etsy, I've never made anything handmade. I didn't use any graphic designs tool. Whenever I needed to buy something for my blog, I always hire someone to create it for me. So I didn't have any experience with graphic design. I didn't have no experience with graphic tools. So in the beginning, I made a lot of mistakes, but that's how I got started on Etsy. It was like a spark, I wonder if I could do this myself.
Okay. That's how you get started. So what mistakes did you make when you started? What lessons did you learn from that made you better? You can share a couple.
Yeah, of course. I think the biggest mistake I made, which was a really good lesson that I learned, so I'm glad I made the mistake, was because I was very limited in how to create handmade items, I didn't know. And back then, there weren't that many videos like now on YouTube or content around Etsy. So I didn't know how to create handmade items. I really didn't know what list of handmade items would be. So when I used to look at people's products, I used to say, well, I can't do that. But what I could do is open a Word document, put in a quote, save that as a JPEG file, and sell that. So I started selling quotes like from songs, from TV shows, like Alicia Keys' This Girl's on Fire. So I would create a quote that said, This Girl's on Fire. Mm-hmm. So I started doing that, and I built up my store. I already knew digital marketing. So like marketing myself, I already knew how to do. I knew how to grow a brand. I knew how to get myself out there. So I started getting a lot of eyeballs back to my store. And I think the first month I made about $102. And I was like, okay, I'm on a good start. But what happened was pretty soon I started getting, in the span of 6 months, I started getting a lot of infringement notices from Etsy. Oh. And I was using quotes that were copyrighted and trademarked. And back then, the lack of knowledge that I had in this space, in this new space, and I probably should have known better, but I saw everyone else do it on Etsy. So I figured, oh, if they have those quotes, I could do it as well. And that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make, because there's many people that are selling stuff on Etsy that they shouldn't. So when I did that and I started getting all these intellectual property, I started learning about intellectual property. I started educating myself. And that's when I was like, okay, my store is going to get shut down. I literally received, I think, more than eight letters from Etsy. And I hear a lot of people say after 3 your store gets shut down. I guess I was very lucky I didn't get shut down, but I received a lot because I had over 1,000 listings of quotes and movies and you name it, I had it. So what I ended up doing was, that lesson right there taught me, okay, if you're going to use a quote, you better do search on it to make sure it's not copyrighted. Is it even worth it? So what I did was I started my whole niche again. I decided to remove all quotes, and I started learning on how to create wedding invites and party events. That's kind of like the niche that I started. So I took down 1,000 listings. Imagine all the work I did to create a store with 1,000 listings. I had to restart again. But the lesson that I learned was I had to make that mistake in order to hit the 21,000, because when I started selling wedding invites, wedding tags, table numbers, party event signs, etc., my price range went from like $5 per quote. Now I'm charging anywhere from $5 to $40, and sometimes even more, depending on what they wanted for their wedding and what type of packages. So it was a good lesson to learn. It was something that sometimes you kind of have to go through it to learn. But that was the biggest lesson I learned.
Okay. And that was a very expensive lesson to learn as well.
Yes. Yes.
So what are the key elements one needs to start an Etsy business?
I think the key elements is, the first one is choosing a unique niche. You know, you want to make sure that you have micro niche down. I think many Etsy sellers make the mistake that they want to sell a variety of different things. And when you do so, you have so many different target audiences now. So they want to sell cars and top bags and prints and pillows and cases. And what you want to do in the beginning, especially when you're first starting, it's okay to try different products to see what sticks. But after you decide what is selling in your store, you need to micro niche down. Or if anything, you start micro niche the first time around. And micro niche, what I mean by that is, if I say, you know, I'm a personal trainer, when somebody hears that, they just think, okay, well, I guess she trains everyone. But if I say I'm a health coach who specializes on first-time moms to lose weight, I'm very specific. Okay. And when you're very specific like that, you stand out in a saturated market. You become an industry leader in that market, and you even have a competitive edge over other people, because now you're able to target your target audience a lot quicker. If I'm a health coach for first-time moms, All I need to do is when I'm doing my targeting for, let's say, Facebook ads, or I'm doing my copy ads, all I need to make sure is I target that specific person. I'm not targeting 20 different people and my audience is confused on who I really, help. Mm-hmm. So that's the number one thing. Make sure that you have a unique niche and you micro down that niche. The second thing is make sure that you build a memorable brand. So, there's a lot of free resources nowadays that you could learn about branding one-on-one. So making sure that you have a palette of colors that you're cohesive across your entire brand and you don't deviate from those colors, that you have a logo. If you are the brand, then you have a professional picture of yourself. Mm-hmm. And this is the quickest way to build your identity as a brand and separate yourself from the competitors. A lot of people are like, I want to start an Etsy business on candles, but that's so competitive. Yeah, it is very competitive. But if you go through each store, 90% of the stores don't even have a brand identity. So if you separate yourself from them, you'll become an industry leader in that particular niche. So that's the first step. And then the third thing I think that many people don't do, I didn't do this for years and I'm regretting it now, is email marketing. You need to start an email marketing as soon as you open any type of business, even on Etsy. And a lot of people have the misconception, Etsy doesn't allow it. They do. If you go to your dashboard and integrations, you're able to see the two companies that they work with. One is Mailfold and AppWeber. Those are the two partners that they have. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go through their partners. You could do any company out there that is an email provider. But that's one way to check if you're scared of doing it. You just have to abide by Etsy rules. They don't want you adding emails to your contact. They want you to ask the person, and if they join, then that's your email contact now that you can nurture and remarket to. But those are the three key elements that you need to start, an Etsy business right now.
And that's good. And you mentioned the email marketing list. Mm-hmm. I have found that people are adding people to their mailing list, and because I've gotten added to mailing lists, I'm like, I never signed up for this, and that's like, and I know they have rules for that. It's like a violation now.
Yes. What you want to do is, if you ever get added to an email marketing service that you actually didn't do, mm-hmm. you want to report it to Google as spam.
Okay.
And normally what that happens is the actual company of your provider will receive a notification. And if they get so many of them, they actually could suspend your account.
Okay.
And the reason I know this is because, like I mentioned to you, I wasn't doing email marketing. Mm-hmm. And 2 years ago, I collected emails for like 9 years. And 2 years ago, I decided, okay, I'm going to go to a new email marketer that I found that I love. And I'm going to transfer all my emails and I'm going to start sending emails out. Mm-hmm. So this is my first time emailing and nurturing my list after years of collecting emails that these people did actually sign up for. Mm-hmm. And I remember my email provider saying, you're getting a lot of complaints that they never signed up. I'm like, well, how would you know that? And then I explained to them, well, I never emailed them before. I think that's probably why, because they probably don't even know who I am right now.
Right.
And, that's what I'm saying. I made that mistake right there. And they were forgiven because they understood what I meant. Because it was the same day that I sent my first email out saying, hey, guys, I know I never emailed, but here I am, So that's the best way to go about it when you do get added to one. Because if a lot of people do that, then that email provider, they get notifications of it. Mm-hmm. And then from there, they take action on your account. They actually do.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Okay. So for Etsy sellers, how important is vlogging or blogging, and how often should they post content?
It's very important to have either of. The reason why is because you tap into Google and you could drive additional traffic. You build authority on Google as mm-hmm. well. Mm-hmm. And you get syndicated for different keywords. Like for me, when I do keyword research, the word Etsy, whenever somebody types in the word Etsy on Google, at the current moment, right, because it fluctuates, at the current moment, I get about 22,000 monthly searches with the word Etsy. But my name is not Etsy, my name is Nancy. But what happens now is when people type in Etsy on the search feed, Google says, oh, you want to know about Etsy? Here's Nancy's content.
Okay.
And that happens for any type of business. If you have a blog and you provide, let's say you sell nursery prints on Etsy, and you become an industry leader around the word nursery decor, children decor, anytime that somebody types in, once you build your brand over time, because it does take over time to do so, when somebody types in nursery decor, what Google does is syndicates your name or your brand name to the word nursery, and will start driving you additional traffic. Along with your blogging and the articles that you created, that will drive you traffic as well. But when you get syndicated, that's the true power of Google. So that's building a brand. And when you do that, you'll start getting tons of traffic. I get the same on YouTube. When people type in Etsy, they get suggested videos on my topic, on my videos that are Etsy related. So you definitely need to start blogging. There's different reasons why. Not just because of that, because you could collect emails a lot easier than on Etsy. You could do pop-up boxes. You could do, you could remarket to people. On Etsy, you can add a pixel, but on a blog, you could add a pixel, which means anybody that visited your blog, you could tell Facebook, hey, I'm running a special, and I want you to show this ad to every single person that visited my blog the last 365 days or the last 30 days. Whatever date you add, and you could actually remarket to these people. So that's another advantage. And I recommend at least 2 to 4 times per month if you're starting to have a continuous blog. And it could be different types of content that you provide. It could be maybe content about your store, maybe about yourself, maybe about products and services that you have, or a new launch that you're having.
Okay. Awesome. That is very good information. Now, do you prefer YouTube over blogging, or you love both?
I actually like both, to be quite honest, because Google is the number one search engine, and then YouTube is the second large search engine. So you win on both platforms. You know, there are going to be people that like to read, and they prefer to read an article versus a video, and there's people that just prefer videos versus reading. So the key is being everywhere and anywhere that your tribe hangs out. And you're not gonna, not everybody's gonna go to your blog, but not everyone's gonna go to YouTube. So I think it's a good combination of both, especially because they're the 2 largest search engines. And YouTube just keeps growing and growing. So it's an easy way to get your name out there. It's an easy way to get your brand out there. It doesn't matter what type of niche you're in. And a lot of people have the misconception that it's too late to start blogging or too late to have a YouTube channel, but it's far from the truth.
Okay, absolutely. That is very true. So how important, I know we've talked a little, you mentioned a little bit about SEO, but how important is SEO, social media, and branding for those who are considering starting an Etsy store, or for those who already have an Etsy business and they're stumped because their products are not selling? So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Well, SEO is a term that if you are going to sell anything online, whether you sell on Etsy, whether you have your own blog, Shopify, whether you say, I'm going to leave Etsy, doesn't work, and you go to Amazon, guess what? You have to learn SEO. It's a term that's not going anywhere. And if you plan to sell online, SEO ultimately is how the algorithm understands what your page is about through keywords. So the first thing is learning SEO, mastering SEO. It constantly changes. So, the tips that I give today might not be good in 6 months from today, right? But the best practices are always the same. So you definitely want to learn SEO. It might be a little tedious in the beginning, but once you start doing it, and the more often you do it, the easier it gets. And nowadays, guys, you could find resources, there's videos, there's courses that teach you all about SEO. They break it down for you. So there's no reason for no one to learn SEO at the current moment. but SEO ultimately drives traffic from the search engine. Now, if you're feeling stuck and you're not selling on Etsy, you got to think about this. When you open an Etsy store, you're competing with so many people in there that sell similar products like yourself. So you're going to need SEO to drive organic traffic to your store from Etsy and other large search engines. You're going to need social media to build a brand to kind of get your store out there to other people, and to also leverage the power of social media to bring traffic back to your store. You can't simply have an Etsy store, put a couple listings, and expect to start getting traffic. You might get the occasional traffic, but it's your business as a store owner to brand your business correctly. If you want to scale your business to the next level, you're going to have to use social media, and you're going to have to do branding on it. You're going to have to be able to take yourself from the regular person that sells on Etsy like everyone else and become a brand authority. This is the reason why a corner store that might sell coffee might charge $2.50 for a coffee, and that's the most you will pay. But if you walked into Starbucks, with a couple of espresso shots, you might pay $7 for a coffee, and you're okay with it because you're paying for the brand. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want to do ultimately. I think a lot of people have the mindset, if I open a store and just leave it open and post once in a while on social media, that's good enough. But it's not, unfortunately, not nowadays when there's so much competition out there. So the quickest way is to use SEO to get found organically, use social media and branding to leverage more traffic back to your store. And the branding is really important because that's going to separate you from everyone else that sells similar products like yourself. And it's going to make you an industry leader in that particular niche. Like we talked about earlier, that when people search motivational speaker, guess who comes out? Tony Robbins, right? Or people like that. Why? Because they have that brand authority already under their name. So Google understands, okay, if somebody's looking for motivational speakers, here are some of the top people. That's what you want ultimately for your business. Oh, you're looking for candles? Here's some of the top companies. And then your store pops up. But in order to do that, you need to be consistent. You need to have good SEO. You need to make sure you're targeting the right people and not showing your products to the wrong people. That's a big one right there as well, because if you show the products to the wrong people, there's something called listing quality score that Etsy uses it. And Etsy, when you list a product, if you use terms that are too broad, too competitive, it doesn't uniquely describe what you sell, Etsy is going to say, okay, well, no one's really engaging or buying, so we're going to bury you in the search results. Or everybody's buying from you, everybody's loving your product, you are a bestseller, let's put that little batch on your thing. That's how they determine either or. But in order to do that, in order to pick the right SEO, you really have to understand who is your target audience and what are you selling. And then from there, you could do keyword brainstorming to pick unique phrases, keywords, or long tail keywords that accurately describes what you sell. So that's part of the SEO that you have to really work on. And from there, then you're able to use that information to use it on your social media and also use it to become a brand identity. But it all starts with, like we said in the beginning, micro niching and really understanding who is your target audience. When you have those two pieces together, it's a lot easier to do SEO.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So how do you help a potential client with building an Etsy business?
Well, I have two services. I have one that I do I used to do one-on-one coaching, but because I was doing a full-time job, I was a new mom, and my side hustle at the time, it was really taking a lot out of my time. So I stopped doing that, and I started doing Etsy shop critiques on my store. Okay. And an Etsy shop critique is just a quick way for me to I do like a video audit of your store, and I record a video that only you could see. It's usually about 45 minutes to an hour long. And I do a complete audit of your entire store. So I take a listing, I talk about product presentation, I talk about the title, I talk about on-page SEO factors, off-page SEO factors, your listing description, backlinks, email marketing strategies, branding, content, the curation of your store, categories, attributes. I talk about everything, how to optimize your entire listing correctly, how to do your meta description, and how to optimize your entire store. So all the tips I give you there are very valuable because these are going to be all strategies that you could implement and scale your business to the next level. So that's one way that I do. And that's like the cheapest way if you don't want to join my actual course. Now, the course that I have now is another way that I help people, because the course is designed that you learn how to create digital prints and digital products. Well, addition to that, you get 8 courses for the price of one. So you're going to learn how to use Facebook for your Etsy business, how to do a Facebook group for your Etsy business, how to use Pinterest for your Etsy business, how to use Instagram for your Etsy business, how to start, manage, and grow an Etsy business. So you get all these, how to use your profile into a sales funnel so you can start collecting emails from Facebook. So I teach you all these marketing strategies. And basically, in my course, I teach you how to use social media and branding to scale your business to the next level.
Oh, that's good. That is very good.
Thank you.
So if people are trying to compare your services to someone else who's providing the same service, what makes you different than your competitors, and why should they choose you?
I think the biggest thing that makes me different is, especially in the course that I sell, and I'll talk about other services that I provide as well. In the course itself, you're getting 8 courses in one. A lot of the Etsy courses out there, they teach you how to create an Etsy store. But after that, you don't know what else to do. Like you could probably learn that yourself. But in my course, I teach you not only how, like I said, how to start, manage, and grow. I teach you how to become a brand the right way and how to scale your business to the next level as long as you follow my course. And you're getting 8 courses in one. I don't know anyone else out there that is an Etsy coach that has 8 courses for the same price. Some of the people that are my competitors, they're amazing as well. But they have like 1 course for the same price that I sell mine. So that really separates me. The second thing is that in the actual course, you'll have me 24/7. So I have like a thread where if you have questions, like if you did a lesson and you took action and you're stuck, you could just, put your question there and I answer your questions within 24 hours or less. Addition to that, Q&As every week with me. And what makes me different, regardless if you buy my course or not, is that I provide a lot of value online. I have, in 2 years, I have added 541 videos to my YouTube channel. I have tons of material out there. I have a blog where I provide a lot of value as well. I do try to respond to every single message, just getting to the point that I need an assistant because it takes me hours sometimes to just respond every single individual comment. But I do try my best to do that as well. And I think for me, it's just I do provide value. I actually created, and I don't know if this is the right way or not. Some people will argue with me and say I was really dumb for doing this. But my first 2 years as an Etsy coach, I never had any services that I would charge people. I actually did video after videos after videos of free material before I started saying, hey, I do one-on-one coaching, or I have a critique, or now I have a course. So that makes me different from everyone else. A lot of people, they provide content, but they don't show you how to do it. A lot of my videos is, okay, let's go ahead and get started. And I show you how to do it step by step. I record my screen and show you. So I think that's what separates me, is the value that I provide.
Absolutely. And I can vouch for her value. She does a lot from when she helped me when I first started on my blog. So Nancy has a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience that you will definitely benefit from. Now, on your website, you share a list of resources, and I've gone through your resource page. My God, you provide a lot of information. And you share with a few with our listeners that you highly recommend, like your top 5?
Yes, I can. I think the top 5 are, for me, erank.com. I like their tools a lot. The owner, Anthony Wolf, he's amazing. He's always adding new features, new services. He has a whole team that are amazing with him. A couple of them are my competitors, but they are amazing people. They provide a lot of value. And I like eRank because it's a great tool that you could start using for free to grow your Etsy business. And if you want to unlock additional features, then you could upgrade to the pro version. But at least you could use majority of their tools for free, which is really nice for anyone out there in a budget. The second tool is my new email provider. They're called ConvertKit, and I highly recommend them. They are so advanced when it comes to targeting people. When you email someone, you could put a little code that says city. And if you know that contact, if you collected someone's contact and you put they're from Chicago, when you email this person, it would say, hey, Nancy, how's the weather in Chicago? I mean, it's so neat to be able to personalize your emails like that. Because nowadays people get the same email that they know, okay, you probably send this to like 10,000 other people.
Right.
But the fact that they'll see it, hey, how's your city? And how's this sport? And you could add little things like that. It makes it so different and personalized to that customer that they feel like you're talking to only them, even though you probably are emailing, an entire list of people. So I kind of like that feature because many of the old providers they're not as updated as they are. So ConvertKit is a great place to start for email marketing. And they also have a free plan. So if you don't have any emails, you could start with them. Up to 500 emails is free, which is really
wow. That's really good.
They're a great company. Canva is another tool that I recommend for anyone out there. It's a graphic design tool. It's very user friendly, and anyone could use it. And what I like about Canva is not only that it's easy, but you could do so many things with it. Like you could do your Etsy photos, and you could do your Etsy social media listings, and you could optimize the sizes correctly. So with one click, you could say, I want to make this picture sizable for Facebook, for Pinterest, for Instagram story, and it sizes for you in 4 different sizes within minutes. So that will save you a lot of time. So it has a lot of features in there that you could do. You could do GIFs. I use it a lot for like if you ever see anything in my Instagram account that you're like, I wonder how she did that. I did it on Canva. So it's amazing. Just play around with it and you'll get more familiarized. Another tool that I'm working with this gentleman called Damien is Etsy 360. It's a WordPress plugin. And I actually have it activated on my account, and I'm starting to do like Pinterest pins to drive traffic to it. And it's basically, if you have a WordPress plugin, a WordPress site, you could use his plugin, add it to your website, and it would, in under 10 minutes, you'll have your whole entire store in your actual website. And when people end up buying, let's say you drive traffic to it using a Facebook ad or Pinterest or social media, whatever form of traffic you're using, when people land on the page, they shop, they're not looking at your competitors' listings. And when they're ready to check out, it actually takes them back to the Etsy platform to check out. So it gives them that feeling of, okay, I feel safe because I'm checking out on Etsy, especially if they don't know who you are as a brand yet. So I like that feature about Etsy 360.
Nancy, I think your
This type of product, Creative Market has a lot of digital assets for your business.
Okay. You went out for a second there, so I think we lost the last 2 minutes of your conversation because you went out for a second.
Okay. I think, was it on the Etsy 360 probably, on the plugin?
Yeah, last part of it.
Okay, so the one before that, just in case if they get cut off, is Canva. And I was saying that with Canva, you're able to use it for your Etsy business in so many different ways, from creating your Etsy photo, creating an Etsy mockup, from creating your Etsy promotions on social media. With a click of a button, you could say, okay, I want this image to be optimized for Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, and whatever else you share it at. And it will do it within seconds. So there's many advantages of using Canva. Addition to that, the next one that I was mentioning is Etsy 360. It's a WordPress plugin. So you do need to have a WordPress site. And with this plugin, under 10 minutes, you're able to connect your actual Etsy store to your actual website. And the owner, Damien, made it so simple to use. He has great tutorials on how to actually install it. And their customer service is really, really, really great as well. And with the plugin, what is really cool about it is when you drive traffic to your blog, people are browsing through your products. You don't have to worry that those, start browsing through other people's products, like your competitors. Addition to that, when they're ready to buy, they click, add to cart, check out, and it takes them back to the Etsy checkout page. And I think for many people, especially if they don't know who you are as a brand yet, and it's their first time engaging, that gives them like the comfort of, oh, okay, I'm checking out on Etsy. I feel comfortable to proceed with the order. So it has a lot of cool features like that I highly recommend checking them out. And in addition to that, the last tool that I recommend is Creative Market. And with Creative Market, you could buy a lot of digital assets for your business. So you could go in there and buy graphic designs. You could go in there, buy fonts. I bought my website from in there, to be quite honest. There's so many things you could go in there. The disclaimer that I give for Creative Market is that warning, you will spend a lot of money because you'll start seeing so many amazing products and services that you could buy through a license and use it as your own. So it's really neat site to check out.
Absolutely. I've been on Creative Market. Yes. So you spend some money.
Yeah. You start like getting sidetracked. You didn't come for this, but you end up buying more stuff that you needed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what advice can you give listeners who love to start an Etsy business?
I think the biggest advice is just majority of people are scared to fail. Or they're scared of what other people think. And you just have to start, stop worrying about failure. Failures are, don't expect to fail, but know it's going to happen, basically. And when it does happen, you learn from it. It's not failure if you learn from it. Failure is when you don't start your business because you're too scared. And failure is when you quit too soon because people want instant gratification. And it takes sometimes, depending, not everyone has the success story of I quit my job in 1 year, I became a millionaire. Right. That's very rare that happens. So, you hear more of those stories, but what you really don't hear is, like, especially for me, 11 years of grinding to get where I'm at now. And even now, I'm not even where I want to be, So it does take time and effort, and you try this and you failed. You try that and you failed. Those 2 lessons taught you how to do this new thing. Now you failed again. And then you did this. You kind of make a little money. And with the, when you become an entrepreneur and you have your own business, understanding that you're going to have a roller coaster of emotions. One day you're going to say, I am the bomb. The next day you're going to say, oh, I don't think I'm made for this. The next day you're going to say, oh, I'm doing pretty good. The next day is going to be 4 days of no sales. And you feel like, oh, that's it. I'm going down. The next day you're going to be high again and happy. That's normal. That's normal. Everyone feels like that. Everyone feels like they're not good enough, or they don't know enough, or they're not an expert, or they don't feel qualified. The key point, or the key elements of a successful entrepreneur and a person that fails, is that the people that are successful, they just keep going through it all. They fail and they just keep going and they don't give up. That's the main difference. It's not this magical thing that happens and that's why they blew up. So the key thing is, for anyone out there that wants to start a business, is don't fear failure. Take the lessons that you learn and learn from them and make better decisions the next time, because you never know, that might lead you to a better idea like it did to me. Addition to that, Don't be scared of what other people think. Usually the people that have something negative to say about you starting a business is because, one, they don't know any better. Two, they put their limits on you, their own limits on you. And three, to be quite honest, the people talk, bad about you starting is because they don't have any dreams themselves. People that hustle, or people that reach out to me and say, oh my God, I admire you, I always give them positive feedback, because we're in the same boat. We have the same dreams. But people that you don't want to take advice from people that are not doing anything like this, because they really will put a damp on your dreams. So don't do that as well. And just realize that you are going to have those highs and lows. And I have them every single day. I have a high and I have a low, a high and low. And that's normal. It's normal to feel that way. The key is to keep pushing through.
Absolutely. It's growing pains.
Exactly.
I like to call it growing pains.
Yeah, exactly.
Pushing.
You said it perfectly.
Yep. You keep pushing, you keep pressing forward, and you learn from it, and you move, and you keep going.
Exactly.
So you have given us a lot of valuable information for anyone who wants to start an Etsy store, even for those of you who are an entrepreneur and you're doing something else. There's a lot of valuable information that Nancy has given us today, and some great tips. So for anyone who is interested in starting an Etsy store, Etsy business, Nancy, how can our listeners connect with you and learn more about you and work with you?
Oh, of course. For anyone that wants to learn a little bit more about me, my services, or just reach out to me, just go to my blog. Is NancyBadillo.com. I think that's the quickest way, because I have everything in there.
Absolutely. Yes. And you'll get a wealth of information on her website. I will be dropping her website information into our group and all across our social media, so that you can check her out, ask her questions. I'll even drop her information inside the group and tag her, and I'll add you to the group, so that, because there's a couple people in the group who actually sell products, so they can ask questions, and you guys can develop that nice networking relationship,
Of course.
to lead to a client.
Of course. Yeah. If you tag me and somebody asks a question, I'll be more than happy to help.
Absolutely. Well, that is our show today. Don't forget, everyone, every Tuesday, we have expert guest interviews right here on SEM Podcast. Nancy, thank you so much for coming on the show today, sharing your wealth of knowledge and expertise. Greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to doing something else with you. I'll definitely be talking to you about something else.
Sounds good, Latrice. Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure to be in your podcast.
Well, you have a great weekend, and we will be talking soon.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to the show today. Be sure to tune in each week to hear interviews from business experts in the industry. Follow SCM on your favorite streaming channel, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or Google. Don't forget to follow Sistas Creative Media on all social media platforms to learn more about us.